Here's something nobody warned you about. The man she texts first. The man she can't get out of her head. The man she tells her friends about at midnight. He didn't have the best looks. He didn't have the most money. He didn't say anything impressive. He just asked the right question. And that's exactly what I'm giving you today. 6 questions that flip the entire dynamic. Most guys walk into a conversation trying to perform, showing off their job, their lifestyle, their confidence, talking too much, filling every silence because the silence feels like losing, and she can feel it. That pressure, that need for her approval, that invisible desperation hanging in the air, and it kills everything before it even starts. Here's the truth that nobody teaches you. She doesn't fall for what you tell her about yourself. She falls for how she feels when she's with you. That's the whole game right there. Once you understand that, you stop competing. You start connecting. And the difference between those two things, that's the difference between a man she forgets and a man she can't stop thinking about. So today I'm giving you 6 questions, not pickup lines, not tricks, not scripts you memorize and recite like a robot. These are doorways. Questions that make her drop the mask, step outside the version of herself she shows the world, and reveal who she actually is underneath all of it. And when that happens, when she feels that rare, real, unfiltered connection, she starts associating that feeling with you. Stay with me, because this is about to go deeper than anything you've heard before. Question 1. What's something you believed strongly 5 years ago that you don't believe anymore? Watch what happens when you ask this. She doesn't answer immediately. She pauses. She goes quiet for a second. Because you didn't ask what she does for work. You didn't ask where she's from. You asked her to look back, to revisit a version of herself that no longer exists. And that's powerful, because people don't connect over facts. They connect over transformation, the moments that changed them, the beliefs that broke, the hard lessons they had to learn. When she starts answering, she's not just giving you information. She's telling you a story about how she grew, about what hurt her, about what opened her eyes to reality. Maybe it's about a relationship that wrecked her worldview. Maybe it's about trust, independence, or something she had to learn the absolute hard way. And in that moment, you're no longer just another guy with surface-level questions. You become the man who sees her pattern, who recognizes that she didn't just appear the way she is today. She became this woman through experience, through pain, through growth. But here's where most men completely blow it. The second she finishes answering, they jump in. They compare stories. They try to relate. Oh yeah, same thing happened to me. And just like that, the moment dies. Don't do that. Let the silence breathe for a second. Let her feel that you're actually listening, not waiting for your turn, not planning your next line, just fully, completely present, because most people talk to be heard. Very few people ask to understand. And when a woman feels genuinely understood, her guard comes down, her whole energy softens, and she starts associating you with that rare experience. Question 2. When do you feel most like yourself? Not happiest, not most productive, not most successful, yourself. That distinction matters more than you think, because she is always performing for someone. Social media, work, family, friends. She knows how she's supposed to come across. She knows how to respond in a way that keeps the peace and looks good. But very few people ever ask her about the moments where all of that just disappears. So when you ask this, you're not asking about her life. You're asking about her truth. Her answer will tell you everything. She might say it's when she's completely alone, when she's creating something with her hands, when she's lost in music at 2 a.m, when she's having a conversation so deep that time stops. Whatever it is, that's the version of her that doesn't perform. That's where she breathes freely. And here's what's happening beneath the surface. As she describes that moment, she's not just thinking about it, she's feeling it. Her tone changes, her energy softens. She literally reconnects with that version of herself in real time. And you're the one who took her there. This is where attraction starts forming in a way most men completely miss. You're not building attraction directly. You're building emotional association. You become connected to how she feels in that moment. And that feeling? It doesn't fade easily. Question 3. If nothing was holding you back, no fear, no money issues, no judgment, no expectations, what would you actually be doing right now? This is not a casual question. This is a permission question. You are giving her space to step outside the edited, scaled-down, realistic version of herself that she shows the world, and speak from a place she usually keeps quiet. Because every woman carries a version of herself that's been adjusted, toned down, made more practical, not because she lacks ambition, but because life teaches you to be careful, to be realistic, to not say too much or want too much out loud. So when you ask this, watch what happens. She leans in. Her mind shifts. She stops thinking about what sounds reasonable and starts thinking about what feels true. And that's when you start hearing things she doesn't normally say out loud. Dreams she hasn't chased, paths she walked away from, versions of herself she hasn't fully lived yet. And in that moment, you're not just part of a conversation. You become a temporary escape. Not because you're entertaining, but because you allowed her to feel free. And emotional freedom? That creates attachment faster than anything else. But this is also where most men ruin it completely. They hear her answer and they immediately try to fix it. They give advice. They try to turn it into a plan. Oh, you should definitely do that. Here's how. Stop. You are not there to guide her life. You are there to witness her truth. Hold eye contact. Stay grounded. Let her speak without interruption. Because the moment she feels safe expressing something she usually hides, she starts associating you with that safety. And the man who gives her permission to say what she's been holding back? He becomes the man she thinks about when she wants to feel that way again. If this is already shifting how you think about conversations, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. Because the next 3 questions go even deeper into female psychology, and most men are not ready for what they reveal. Question 4. What kind of connection do you think you actually deserve? Notice the wording carefully, not what she wants, not what she's looking for, what she believes she deserves. Because that's a completely different question. And it goes straight to her self-worth, which is where most relationships quietly collapse long before they officially end. When you ask this, you're not just opening a conversation, you're holding up a mirror. And most people aren't used to looking at themselves that directly. Some women will answer with total clarity, depth, consistency, emotional presence, real respect. If she says it without hesitation, she knows her standards, she's done the work. But others will deflect, laugh it off, say something vague, go quiet. And that hesitation is information. Because when a woman doesn't know what she deserves, she accepts whatever she's given. And that's where the patterns begin. Settling, overgiving, tolerating what she shouldn't, attracting the same kind of men over and over again, wondering why. Here's what most men do wrong with this question. They hear her answer and immediately try to become what she says she wants. They adjust themselves. They start performing again. That is weakness. The moment you shape yourself to fit her words, you lose your frame. Instead, stay grounded. Listen. Observe. Because the way she answers this question isn't just about her past. It's a preview of how she will treat you. Her standards will become your experience, so don't rush to impress her here. Pay attention. Question 5. What's something people constantly misunderstand about you? There is always a layer she hides, the part that feels unseen, the version of herself that doesn't get recognized. Maybe people think she's cold when she's actually just protective. Maybe they think she's strong when she's exhausted. Maybe they see someone who has it all together, while she's quietly falling apart on the inside. And most people never get access to that layer because they never ask. When you ask this, you're creating a space where she can drop the mask without feeling exposed. And that's where real intimacy begins. But understand this clearly. She doesn't open up because you're special. You become special because she opened up. You created the environment. That's the actual skill. You are not finding hidden treasure. You are building the room where the treasure feels safe to come out. And once she's opened that door with you, she's not closing it easily. But once again, this is where men mess it up. They overreact. They try too hard to validate her. Oh my God, I totally get that. Same with me. She feels it. Women are incredibly sensitive to emotional inconsistency. So stay calm, stay present. Receive what she's saying without turning it into a performance. Because when a woman feels genuinely seen, without being judged, without being fixed, without being interrupted, she relaxes in a way she doesn't with most men. And that relaxation turns into trust. And that trust is what separates you from literally everyone else she's talked to. Question 6. And this one. This one hits on a completely different level. If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? The whole conversation shifts the moment you ask this. Her voice changes. The energy in the room changes. Because now she's not talking about who she is. She's talking about what shaped her, the moments that cost her something real, the relationships that rewired her expectations, the decisions she wishes she could take back, the moments where she had to grow up faster than she ever wanted to. And you can hear it. The weight behind her words. The honesty she wasn't planning to show you. For the first time, you're not just seeing the woman sitting in front of you. You're seeing the timeline behind her. And that's where real connection happens. Not on the surface of who she is today, but in the story of how she got there. But this is also where you need to be most careful. Because when men hear this level of vulnerability, most of them either collapse into it, start trying to rescue her, comfort her, step into an emotional role she never asked for, or they get uncomfortable and change the subject. Both are mistakes. You are not there to fix her past. You are there to hold space for it. Stay steady, stay grounded, let her finish. Don't react, don't make it about you, don't start crying with her. Just be the calm, still presence that doesn't flinch at her truth. Because when a woman realizes that you can hear her past without becoming destabilized, that you can hold the weight of who she's been without judgment, without advice, without running, she starts to trust you in a way that goes beyond attraction. Attraction might bring her close, but this is what makes her want to stay. Now step back and look at what just happened across all 6 of these questions. Not one of them was about you. Not one. No bragging. No stories about your success. No performing. No trying to be the most interesting person in the room. You simply guided her into an experience she doesn't have with anyone else. You made her feel understood. You made her feel seen. You made her feel free, maybe for the first time in a long time. And that feeling? She will chase it. Because it's rare. Because most men never give it to her. That is your real advantage. Not your looks, not your money, not your status. The way she feels when she's talking to you, that's what she can't let go of. Not what you said about yourself, but what she discovered about herself when she was with you. Drop in the comments right now. Which of these 6 questions hit you the hardest? Which one are you trying first? I genuinely want to see how you're starting to think differently, and if you are done being the man she forgets. Done being predictable, done blending in. Subscribe right now. Because the next video goes even deeper into how women actually decide who they let into their lives. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.